Labaf is 25. You will wake feeling just the same as felt the day before, with the same projects floundering in your head, the same burdens that accompanied you to bed. Nothing will look altered or strange, nothing different or out of place until the phones begin to ring, text after text, frolicking into your handset, and then you walk out of the bedroom, find your parlor garlanded with gifts and greeting card, and somewhere along the day, serenaded with song and applause, you'll be made to cut the cake. Only then, perhaps later in the night, alone will the suspicion strike you. As a taste of spice, that some things indeed have changed, are no longer as the day before. Those little things that didn't seem to matter, like the recent unusual pains in the chest, the muscles grown slack, the breath that now shortens too quickly to exhaustion, all will summarize suddenly to a harsh signal of passage, a story of autumn aging and withering to winter. 2. You who dipped your nib in the pond of the poor so that the waiting laughters in the eye of the earth may ripen to glorious songs of the season. You who garnish the horses of memory with the tropes of compassion, and chose the lyrics gently, knowing that the word is an egg, the egg a word. You who showed that among the dark songs of the marketplace are lofty moon songs waiting to be plucked, tender moments among village voices now muted by want. Friend, I know how it will strike you then alone, on your bed, the way it also came to me. That more than half of our journey is done, but the wars we fought have not been won. The poverty we railed against has spread even wider still, like a malignant storm. The leaders loath to continue to be leaders and grow fatter still on our people's groans. The harlots are still the heroes in this graveyard of dreams we call our country, and such things which cherish like love and hope and beauty now wears you by with cash. 4. At that moment, my friend, despair will set in, a sadness cold and hard as the hands of ice, and you will ask, where has your life gone? All the poems we've written, all our songs and galloping metaphors, what have they achieved if suffering so brazenly persists? What they call midlife long behind us, and all of the old battles yet to be won. 5. But no, let it not linger long, that moment of doubt and self-accusing blame. Let it prod you instead back to inspiration, to the fertilizing seeds of the divination tray, and remind you that for people like you, like us, history will no longer allow 60 to be just another number, like it is for other men. Not a day to rest and admire laurels and wounds and heal, but just another starting point, a pause to hone our weapons anew and head for a place at the front where the soldiers still standing can rally afresh like selected poems tingling to a rousing chord. We must remain the lyrics of the people's song. 6. Just as the calabash inherits the sediment of drink and the elders the dregs of dispute, so my dear brother must the poet shoulder the burden of shredded dreams. Abro, friend, your head has prospered well. Its acclaim burns on the roofs of all our compounds like starlight. So as you turn 60 and join the elders of the land, And even though our battles are not yet won, and our people are still to be free, Oromila welcomes you as one of the tallest among us. I'm not going to read that last one, that Yoruba part, which is very sad because I'm a Yoruba boy. But I messed up the earlier one. So that is the point. 10 back. Prof, get up. Let us clap for you, sir. That is Professor Femi Oshofison. That's what that's the whole essence of being here. Quality literature. Yes, sir. Okay. So German would be filming. I read Paul Yabi.
He did not translate Yoruba. He just
okay.
He's guilty of something. All of them are ready to be doing cultural things.
So he needed to.
If you can't translate your own language.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon again, because we've lost time. People are on Zoom, they are waiting for us. There's another session. Okay, so we want to take the because when you are doing something on Zoom, it's a difficult thing. People are already asking when is he speaking. So we would like to do the keynote now, but then Mr. Kesho has introduced the chairman, so I'll call the chairman first. Do you want to stand, speak, or you want to be? Okay, sir.
Well, I welcome all of you. There's no question of standing on any protocol. Otherwise, we'll just break it up, smash it. So, welcome. It's quite a delight to see all of you here, particularly the winner of this year's NLLG prize. I want to at least take the opportunity to congratulate you publicly. You know why I do that, because all these years, I myself have not succeeded in winning that prize. Very sad. I need the money. So I'm sure you will tell us the secret you use to win this so that we can also emulate you. Well, anyway, the time is fast spent, so I'm not going to say much. You know why we are all gathered here. The love of literature, and the hope that through literature we can do something to better the lot of our country and the future of our own children. So thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Prof. You have even helped us by making it so. One man was already passing what looked like an insult on us, that you guys advertised one. I woke up to see this, and then you've not started that too. How do you make them to understand that we didn't have light when we got here this morning? So Nigeria is happening to us. So without much ado, I would like to invite Dr. Obari Gomba to speak here. But before then, I'd like to specially acknowledge the publisher of this book, who is Odia Ofemo himself. We call him Baba Poet.
So the title of my keynote is the same as the theme. The theme of the festival this year is Reset, History, and the Darkling Plain. And I will not belabor that because I'm going to recap that in this keynote address. So let me begin my gratitude to the spirited men and women who have sustained the Lagos Book and Art Festival for 25 years. 25 years, that's significant. I believe that they have kept this festival as a beacon that leads us to the difficult conversations we must have as citizens of a rich and troubled post-colonial state. I'm excited to contribute my bit, and I feel honored that the Nigeria LNG has worked with organizers of Labaf to call upon me to present this address. Now, trust me, it's one of the briefest keynote addresses in the world, because my training as a poet taught me the economy of words and the condensation of thoughts. So the theme, as I've said before, is reset, history and the Darkling. History happens every day, and the sum of a country's history can become its trauma. When that happens, a country's fortune is measured by its darkness. A country can become a perpetual pain that is lost to the eternal note of its sadness. I want to allow that to sink in, because it's a phrase from Matthew Arnold. Now, the metaphor of a darkling plane on Dover Beach matches the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. In nature's abundance of light and darkness, Arnold's poem in our collective victories and defeats. It is this poem that captured Ken Saro-Wiwa's imagination when he wrote On a Darkling Plain, a narrative on Nigeria's avoidable civil war. The essential difference between Arnold's poem and Saro-Wiwa's non-fiction is that the former allows his lyrical beauty to evoke the interplay between physical geography and the possibilities of angst and love. Saro-Wiwa, on the other hand, narrates the rawness of hate and bloodletting, occasioned by the travesties of post-colonial dysfunction. But in both texts, we see that they cannot afford the luxury of social detachment. The personages are implicated in the actions that they speak about. There is a certain urgency in Arnold's commitment. And by now, you will realize that the reason why I'm referring to Arnold is because the theme of this festival is derived both from Arnold and Ken Saro-Wiwa, and I'm taking my bearing from that. So there's a certain urgency in Arnold's commitment, and I see it as an intersection of insight and truth that prescribes the honesty of love. So as undergraduates in our literature survey class at the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, we were impressionable and impressive young persons who loved the final stanza of Arnold's piece because of its call to love. We loved the note of romantic escapism in a country that had failed us as a stretch of tragedies from Balewa to Abacha. I was an undergraduate at the University of Nigeria during the Abacha days. And one of my prayers every birthday was that I should not celebrate the next birthday under Abacha. Many of the victims of that government are here. They have survived it, and they have become testament to the resilience of the Nigerian spirit. And I want to acknowledge Edakula Ajibade and Odiofemo, who were particularly in the trench in those days. So, we love that poem a lot because love was so appealing in a country that had too many difficulties. And as young people, we saw love as a way to distract ourselves from the daily miseries of being young people in Abacha's Nigeria. And Abacha's Nigeria, if you look at the history of Nigeria since independence, you will know that there has never been a time when Nigeria has not been a field of bloodletting. All right, so, and this is the reason why we loved Arnold's poems. It is the last stanza, and the lines are, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us is like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, had really no joy nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. So, what we see here is Arnold's understanding of the dysfunction of the world, and he considers love as the only thing that can be momentum in a world that is full of difficulties. So as young people, it was then a perfect toast for our wide oats. As I read it now, I see its enduring gravitas and light. The world is what Arnold says it is. The possibilities of diversity, beauty, renewal reside in the same place, with the lack of joy, the lack of love, the lack of light, the lack of certitude, of peace, and the lack of help for pain. If you doubt me, they can ask the peoples of Chuk and Southern Kaduna who suffer from the normalization of atrocities in a nation state that often fails to protect vulnerable people. We can ask them to speak to us about their own peculiar darkling plain in Nigeria. And there are many examples in the country that indicate our ceaseless contributions to the world's darkness. Arnold's prescription of truth and love is earnest enough in the face of the world's alarms of struggle and flight. I say, love cannot exist where evil ensures the prevention of truth. Love cannot exist where evil ensures the prevention of truth. And there are no competing truths in the world. And people talk about the relativity of truth, and many truths, stuff like that. There are no competing truths. In every situation, there is only one truth, contending with all the lies and spins and association that we invent to powder the fate of evil and deodorize the stench of ruthless power. So truth is the first casualty of abusive power. But Arnold insists on love and truth. It is Arnold's own reset button in a universe of resignation. And I dare say that the love of truth must be more than the escapism of romance. It is a little measure that has a huge potential to love and to be true, even in the panopticon of dystopia. Yes, we know that small tasks can be tasking in the world. Have you ever found it difficult to stand up from your own bed, or brush your teeth, or reply to a text message, or say yes to yourself or your aspiration? You can therefore imagine what is required to wrestle with the obduracy of political falsehood and reset a nation state where the habits of evil have calcified over time. An abusive state is a panopticon. It holds us in its jaws even when we japa from it. And the point is that we carry the burden of our countries wherever we go. And today, even if the world opens its doors and tells all Nigerians to come into it, we can all not leave Nigeria. There isn't any space in the world that is sufficient for all of us. And for those who are young people who are trying to convert the country to the Federal Republic of Japa, there's something that you must understand. Nigeria's problems are Nigerian. They cannot be solved by foreigners. And so if you go outside and you make the foreign currency and keep throwing the money at the problem will continue, the dysfunction will continue. Now, your money can only bring momentary reprieve to your family and work on. Is it going to be easy? No. Can we do it with a snap of fingers? No. Do we stand a chance to succeed if we keep working? Yes. And so what or not? That's what we owe our country. Now, at the risk of overstretching the nexus between Arnold and Sarawiwa, it should be said that the note of romantic escapism that is implied in Arnold's poem is replicated in Saruwa's For Maria. So For Maria is a poem in Saruwa's sung in the time of war, which shares the same social or cultural context with a book called On a Darkling Plain. So what we see there is that the persona is seeking security in matrimonial love in a time of calamity. It is human to find safe space in time of trouble. And we are all inclined to find safety in romance, in surrender, in fear, in money, in employment, in ethnicity, crime, partisanship, class, and flight. That's why Jakpa